Welcome to the thrilling world of Formula One, where speed meets strategy and innovation fuels competition. Today we delve into the fascinating yet tumultuous journey of Alpine, a team once known as Renault, which has experienced the dizzying highs of victory and the crushing lows of decline. Renault, a name synonymous with excellence in motorsport, has a storied history filled with incredible achievements. The team has captured the hearts of fans around the globe by securing two coveted drivers' championships and constructors' titles, thanks to the extraordinary talent of Fernando Alonso. Throughout the years, their engines have been the backbone of champions, propelling legends like Nigel Mansell and the Williams team to their remarkable triumph in 1992. As the years rolled on, Renault-powered cars continued to shine brightly, with Alain Prost leading the charge to victory in 1993, followed by a series of championships in the mid-90s. When Red Bull Racing made its grand entrance into the sport, Renault rose to the occasion once again, establishing itself as the premier engine supplier, enabling the team to clinch 4 consecutive title wins during an era dominated by powerful V8 and V10 engines. However, the landscape of Formula One shifted dramatically in 2014 with the introduction of the 1.6L V6 engines, marking the beginning of a challenging chapter for Renault. The once mighty power units began to falter, suffering from reliability issues and underperformance. Customer teams started to abandon ship, leaving the works team grappling with significant challenges and ultimately leading to a heartbreaking decline. In a startling turn of events, Renault has recently announced the cancellation of its plans to supply engines for the 2026 Formula One season and beyond. This decision marks a significant shift in the landscape of the sport and is emblematic of the struggles the French manufacturer has faced in recent years. On a Monday that sent shockwaves through the motorsport community, Renault revealed that its engine factory in Viry-Châtillon would undergo a transformation, evolving into a center of engineering excellence by the end of 2024. This pivotal decision comes at a crucial juncture, just ahead of the impending new engine regulations set to take effect in 2026. As the Alpine brand, now under the umbrella of the Renault Group, gears up for these changes, there are strong indications that they will secure a deal to have their power units supplied by none other than Mercedes. The facility that has played a vital role in the design and production of engines since Renault's initial foray into Formula One in the 1970s will be rebranded as Hypertech Alpine. This rebranding signals a strategic pivot, focusing on revitalizing the Alpine name, which Renault has endeavored to restore to its former glory. However, skepticism surrounds this initiative, particularly following the disappointing performance of both cars in the recent 24 Hours of Le Mans race, where they were forced to retire due to engine-related issues. Many fans and analysts question whether Alpine can achieve success in any racing discipline, given the hurdles they currently face. As Alpine navigates this critical transition, the management team has affirmed its commitment to repurposing the Viry facility into a hub for cutting-edge engineering and technological innovation by late 2024. This ambitious project follows a constructive consultation process with employee representatives, reflecting a collective desire to forge a new path forward. According to the company's statement, while Formula One activities will continue at the Viry site until the conclusion of the 2025 season, the development of new engines will come to a halt. This announcement is the culmination of months filled with speculation and unrest within the organization. Earlier this summer, staff members expressed their concerns by traveling to the Italian Grand Prix, where they staged protests against the proposed closure of the factory. Adding to the complexity of the situation, the Renault-owned team has undergone another significant internal reshuffle. Flavio Briatore, the former mastermind behind Benetton and Renault, has returned to the fold as Alpine's new executive advisor. His experience and insights are expected to play a crucial role in steering the team through this tumultuous period. Briatore's appointment is aimed at scouting fresh talent and providing valuable perspectives on driver market dynamics. His influence could be pivotal in shaping the future of Alpine's engine project, as he assesses the current structure and offers strategic advice to enhance performance. However, it's important to note that his arrival is not the sole reason for the factory's impending closure. This outcome has been anticipated ever since Luca de Meo, the CEO of Renault Group, ordered a comprehensive review of the F1 operations. Luca de Meo's review of the Formula One operations was driven by a growing concern over Alpine's recent performances, which have left much to be desired. The team, once a formidable competitor, has found itself trailing in the midfield, struggling to maintain a competitive edge. Over the past 18 months, a notable exodus of senior personnel has compounded the challenges facing the organization. Reports indicate that the Renault power unit has consistently ranked among the weakest in the field, significantly impacting Alpine's track performance. This decline in performance has been costly at various circuits. The power deficit has resulted in time losses that translate to crucial tenths of a second. In the fiercely competitive environment of Formula One, such differences can mean the difference between qualifying for the top 10 and being eliminated in Q1, leaving teams scrambling for answers. One of Otmar Safnauer's final acts as Alpine's team principal, before his unexpected dismissal at the 2023 Belgian Grand Prix, was to plead with the rest of the grid for special dispensation to allow Alpine to improve its engine's performance. Unfortunately, that request was met with resistance, reflecting the broader challenges Alpine faces in regaining its competitive status. With their own engine project now effectively sidelined and millions of dollars invested seemingly wasted, Alpine must now focus on securing a new engine supplier for the upcoming 2026 season. Despite the shutdown of their engine manufacturing capabilities, the team remains committed to competing in Formula One. Rumors swirl that Andretti Autosport is keen to explore a partnership with Alpine, hoping to capitalize on the brand's legacy and expertise. As discussions about engine supplies continue, Alpine's focus has predominantly centered on one key player, Mercedes. Toto Wolff, the head of the Silver Arrows, has expressed a willingness to supply engines to another team in 2026, potentially stepping in as Aston Martin transitions to a Honda powertrain. While negotiations with Mercedes are reportedly ongoing, Alpine has remained tight-lipped about their future plans, creating an air of suspense around their strategy. Although 2026 may still seem distant, the urgency for Alpine to secure an engine supplier is palpable. From January 1, 2025, teams will begin the critical work of designing their new cars in line with the upcoming technical regulations. If Alpine fails to finalize a deal for an engine supplier by then, the task of developing a competitive car will become exceedingly difficult. Each Formula One engine is unique in its design and specifications, how various components fit together, and the overall engine size differ significantly between manufacturers. This creates a considerable challenge for Alpine. The engine occupies a substantial space behind the driver, and without knowing the engine's dimensions and layout, they cannot effectively plan the bodywork that will encapsulate it. Moreover, the chassis design must be meticulously crafted to accommodate the engine while securely holding it in place. Without a finalized engine design, the task of creating a competitive chassis becomes nearly impossible. While Alpine could engage in some preliminary planning considering how to tackle the new regulations and identifying potential avenues for improvement, meaningful progress hinges on clarity regarding the engine's shape. Fortunately, Mercedes is likely eager to sell Alpine engines, but the negotiations must yield favorable terms for both parties. It might be tempting to assume that with Alpine ceasing its engine manufacturing, their struggles in competitiveness would worsen. However, the reality is more complex. For years now, Renault engines have underperformed, particularly following the shift to the turbo-hybrid 1.6 LV6 engines introduced in 2014. This transition marked a stark decline for Renault, which had previously enjoyed a period of dominance with Red Bull Racing, winning 4 consecutive titles. The aftermath of that success was far from glorious. Renault began producing engines that were not only unreliable but also lacked the necessary power to compete effectively. The consequences were immediate and significant. Christian Horner, team principal at Red Bull, found himself in a precarious position as he attempted to extricate the Renault engines from their cars. Ultimately, after facing the reality of continued underperformance, Red Bull had no choice but to terminate their contract with Renault. However, with a lack of alternative suppliers, they reluctantly re-signed with Renault but opted to brand the engines with a Tag Heuer badge instead, reflecting their diminished trust in Renault's engineering capabilities. The unfortunate trajectory continued with McLaren, which endured a similar fate when they partnered with Renault for 3 challenging years before making a strategic move to Mercedes engines in 2021. While being a works team, one that designs and builds both its car and engine has traditionally been perceived as a competitive advantage in Formula One, recent seasons have demonstrated that this is not the only route to success. Mercedes customer teams have significantly outperformed their suppliers, illustrating that partnerships can yield fruitful results. In this context, Renault's decision to source Mercedes engines may ultimately enhance Alpine's competitive prospects rather than hinder them. Many fans will vividly remember the early years of the turbo-hybrid era, when the championship was dominated by a team with a superior engine. The unprecedented success achieved by Mercedes from 2014 to 2016, winning 51 out of 59 races, looms large in the minds of those within the sport, shaping their approach as they move forward. While the loss of Renault as an engine manufacturer may appear detrimental on the surface, it could paradoxically work out for the best for Alpine in the long run. This pivotal moment signifies a bittersweet conclusion to what was once one of the most successful engine manufacturers in Formula One history. Over the years, Renault has built a legacy that was defined by triumphs, but recent decisions indicate a shift in focus. Rather than pursuing victory on the racetrack, Renault seems more inclined to leverage its Formula One involvement as a marketing tool for its Alpine brand. This change in strategy raises serious questions about Renault's commitment to motorsport. If they were genuinely interested in reclaiming their former glory and achieving success in Formula One, they would not be shutting down their engine production facility. Instead, they would be enthusiastic about the potential innovations and advancements that could emerge from their engineering efforts. The impending changes in 2026 present an enormous opportunity for any engine manufacturer willing to invest and develop an unbeatable competitive advantage. However, it appears that Renault's priorities have shifted towards selling Alpine cars, viewing their participation in Formula One as an expensive marketing endeavor rather than a pursuit of racing excellence. This pivot is not just disappointing for die-hard fans of the sport, but also signals a troubling end to what was once a proud and formidable organization in Formula One. The hope for a groundbreaking engine to reshape performance in 2026 is overshadowed by Renault's apparent shift in priorities. As we reflect on this pivotal moment, the future of Alpine hangs in the balance. Will this be the end of an era, or can they find a way to reclaim their competitive edge? What are your thoughts on Alpine's new direction? Are you as disappointed as I am? Share your views in the comments below. Until next time, drive safely, and thank you for joining me on this journey through the world of Formula One.